Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for clicking on 5 News Web News. It is Tuesday, May 7th. I'm Matt Heckel, and here are some of the top stories we've been following today here on 5 News. Another deadly accident on our area roads is under investigation today. The latest one happened just this morning. Officials on scene told 5 News that one man died in an accident involving a vehicle and a school bus. That accident happened sometime before 8:30 on Route 119 near Volga in Barber County. We are working to get more information, so be sure to tune in to First at 5 tonight for the latest on that. And it was a tragic weekend on our area roads. 2 men died in 2 separate motorcycle accidents. On Sunday afternoon in Lewis County, police say 61-year-old John Lewis Hutton Jr. from Bridgeport was riding southbound on I-79 when he lost control of his bike near mile marker 93. When he tried to get control, he hit the barrier cable in the median and was thrown off his bike. Officials say he was pronounced dead on scene. They don't know what caused that accident. And we now know the name of a man who died after crashing his motorcycle on I-79 in Marion County. This happened Saturday night. Now, according to the Sheriff's Department, 51-year-old Roger Ford crashed near mile marker 137 just before 10 o'clock. All southbound lanes were shut down for more than an hour. Ford died shortly after crews got on scene. Well, as of last word, a man who had to be flown to Ruby Memorial Hospital after crashing his UTV on Sunday night is in fair condition. Deputies say Joshua Haddix was driving his UTV on Mount Nebo Road in the Audra area at around 8:30 when he supposedly hit a minivan. Haddix was the only one on the UTV, and no one in the van was hurt. Meanwhile, we are still waiting to find out the condition of a teenager who also had to be flown to the hospital Sunday night after crashing his ATV. This one happened around 7 o'clock on Indian Fork Road in Barber County. Officers say 2 17-year-old boys were on the ATV when they hit some loose gravel and flipped. The boy that had to be flown was ejected and wasn't wearing a helmet. We'll let you know as soon as we hear anything else about his condition. Well, nearly a week after the arrest of 2 teens in the murder of Skylar Neese, the question now is, what's next for the case? Well, there's 2 major court dates we're keeping an eye out for. We're waiting on 16-year-old Rachel Schoff to be sentenced, and we're waiting for the other girl to have a preliminary hearing. We're not sure when those hearings will be, but in the meantime, we are hearing a little bit more about Schoff from the people who know her best. It was just last week when 16-year-old Rachel Schoff was charged and pled guilty to second-degree murder for the death of Skylar Neese. According to court papers, Schoff admitted to stabbing Neese to death. Last night, we heard from someone who knew Schoff very well. When asked if she ever expected something like this from her, she said not at all. She went on to say, quote, "She's independent and doesn't pick fights. She's very trustworthy and reliable. Rachel has been nothing but a sweet and lovely person the entire time I've known her. She's friendly, outgoing, and caring," end quote. Again, we are still waiting on her sentencing. The other girl who was arrested is supposed to have a preliminary hearing within 10 days. Well, last week here on 5 News, we showed you a picture of a school lunch in Barber County, a lunch that consisted of just a piece of cheese and a bun. And the superintendent of Barber County Schools has now confirmed to us that the picture, which stirred up a lot of controversy, is true. Parents say it's unacceptable for the school to not serve a well-balanced meal for the kids. The student we spoke with said he heard a lot of people talking about the lack of choices for lunch, and he even skipped lunch because it wasn't fulfilling enough for him.
Tell me what you guys had for lunch last week.
Cheese sandwich.
Did you guys have any other choices besides that?
Just a cup of fruit with it, that was about it, and milk. Oh, they're pretty concerned with it, pretty steaming. No, just people pretty hot about it.
Now, the superintendent told 5 News he apologizes to everyone who is affected by those lunches. He also said he's going to make sure it never happens again. Students who ate the lunch last Thursday will also be credited for what they paid for it. And let's take a quick look at what our newsroom's working on for tonight for First at 5 and 5 News at 6. First up, we're going to have the very latest on a deadly accident on one area road this morning. We're also going to tell you about a new texting scam that's hitting some area residents and how you can avoid being the next victim. And the rain is here in full force. The question now is how much longer until the sunshine returns? Chief Meteorologist Ken Meehan is going to have your first alert forecast tonight on First at 5 and 5 News at 6. And that's what's making headlines this morning. Of course, be sure to tune in tonight for First at 5 and 5 News at 6. And until then, have a great Tuesday, everybody.